guys, it's Lara here. I'm so excited to do the content of my body and caring for myself because I want all of my students, you included, I want you to be able to care for yourself, your mind and your body. And that is a process that we learn throughout our lives. So don't worry right now if what you're doing needs to change, if you need to add more care for your body or your mind, because we're going to try out lots of different practices. And the good thing is we can always add in new practices that work for us, and we can change out the ones that we don't quite love. So all of the students, you guys get these great booklets, My Body and Caring for Myself, and we're going to go through the booklet and have different conversations and practices as they relate to you and your care for yourself. So at the beginning, I've been doing a bit of talking, and so I just wanted you to open up the book and come to page 4. And there you'll see a question, what is yoga? Right? Because we're going to be doing some yoga here. What is yoga? I'll give you a moment to think about or jot down your ideas of yoga. And why yoga might help us care for ourselves. Very nice. So for me, I've been doing yoga a very long time. It might look different than you. When I think of yoga, I think of an 8-limb path. I think of doing breathing, poses, and the things we don't do, the yamas, the things that we make sure we do, the niyamas. Those are like how we care for ourselves and our relationships. And all of those things, the moving, the breathing, the caring for ourselves and our relationships, allow us to make our focus greater in meditation and to really know ourselves on the inside. So right now what we can do is learn how to move our mind and body in a way to prepare us to later learn deeper forms of meditation and concentration. And the ultimate goal of yoga is to feel connection and joy, bliss. So when we work hard at these things, the breathing and the focusing, it's with the goal of feeling joy. So I want to remind you to feel joy as we go along. Next question is, what is mindfulness? I'll give you a moment to jot it down or think of ideas, or feel free to call out if you have some ideas about what is mindfulness. So my definition of mindfulness is arriving with kindness and curiosity in the present moment. So that when our mind wanders off, which it will absolutely do, we look and we say, hey mind, you wandered off, and we bring it back. Because we expect it to wander off, we can be calm and loving towards that wandering mind. And we can be curious about what brought our minds away. Was it something we heard, something we saw through our senses, or was it something we're thinking about or experiencing, feeling in the body? And paying attention to that information we get. And that's all it is information. It's not good or bad. So mindfulness helps us to be more objective and less judgmental, so we can love ourselves and we can have compassion for others. It's a really wonderful practice. We use our 5 senses. We do what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we feel, and what we taste. So those 5 senses help us to notice the present moment. So if your mind has wandered off, you can take a nice bite of a juicy orange, right? Or something like that. What is body awareness? What do you think body awareness is? And to me, body awareness is noticing what is going on with my posture, my voice, how I am standing or sitting, and if it feels good or not, so that I can adjust it. So if I'm not being aware, I often notice I will roll my shoulders forward when I'm texting or typing. Body awareness helps me to lift up again, sit up tall. So having awareness helps me to be closer to what I would like, which is good posture, steady breathing. If I'm aware that I have stopped breathing deeply because I'm anxious, I can then use my body awareness to inform myself, okay, now I should take a deep breath. Or, hey, I'm feeling a lot of tension. What might I need? Okay, so I just wanted to give you some tips to set up your room with enough space to move, to have cozy clothes on that you can stretch and breathe in. You might notice I have pants that have elastic. That's a really nice thing to do, is to be able to breathe and stretch and move in your clothing. All right, so let's turn now to page 6. And you're going to see here questions about faces and emotions. And so a great tip is to have a mirror nearby so you can see your face. I would love us to feel our faces and see our faces to give us information about how we're doing. So first, imagine you're feeling happy. You can maybe think of a time that you were happy. What would your face look like? What would it feel like? You can emulate that face. You can draw it in your book. What does happy face feel like and look like? Good. So we can all experience happiness. Think of a time you felt sad. What did it feel like in your face? What information does your face give you? It's not right or wrong to be happy or sad. These are just ways we experience emotions, the normal range of emotions that all of us feel. Angry. What did your face look like? If you were angry, you can use a mirror, you can draw it. You may feel lots of squeezing. Scared. A lot of us open our mouths when we're scared. What does it feel like in your face when you're scared? How could you notice a scared feeling in someone else? What would their face be doing? Surprised. Right? Both for me, scared and surprised have an open mouth. Noticing that. What does your surprised face look like? And then sleepy. I see a lot of sleepy students. Sometimes the head bob, heavy eyes. So just recognizing our own face with these emotions. Sometimes you look in the mirror and you might not even know what you were feeling until you see yourself. So it's a really helpful way to know and have body awareness and self-awareness, emotional awareness, that we have these faces. So in your workbook on page 6, you could draw those in any time. Now, on page 7, there's some self-reflection questions there. Is there any tension in your face? What might be feeling the tension? What might be causing that feeling of tension? So let's close our eyes and notice your face. Go inside, turn your attention inward. Is there any tension in your face? And what might be causing the attention if there is tension? Now yawn your mouth open. Yawning is a great way to eliminate the tension in your face. Big yawn. Because when you yawn, it releases the muscles in your jaw. Okay. So our face is kind of our first window into our body and our self-awareness and our self-care. So just to wrap up, I want you to notice how your face feels, what expressions you're giving off. You can look in the mirror, you can take pictures, you could also draw the expression, and what does the way we feel show in our face? And how can we learn about our other friends and their experiences by looking at their faces? So we can not only have awareness, but we develop care and compassion for others. Because we all go through all the emotions. And then just remembering you can yawn or stick out your tongue and relax your face. One more pointer is when you go to do a relaxation, you can cover your eyes with an eye pillow or with even a t-shirt to help you relax more deeply. Beautiful. Next, we'll move into, it's on page 8 in your student workbook, the hands. So I notice tension in my hands when they squeeze in. Does anybody ever feel like tense, tired hands, especially if we're typing a lot or worrying a lot? We can carry tension, we curl our hands up. So one thing to notice is just how do my hands feel? And a great practice is just to gently draw your fingers backwards like this in the opposite direction of that tension. Releasing tension. Let's think about all the things our hands help us to do. To write, to type, to draw, to throw. What other things do your hands help you do? So just developing a sense of gratitude for the healing and helping our hands can do for us. I like to place my hands on my body, on my heart and belly, because they help me feel more peaceful. Can you try that? Place a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. Take a few slow belly breaths and notice if your hands help to soothe and calm you. Notice how it felt to have your hands on your body. Take a moment to reflect. What was that like for you? Did you feel more relaxed? Did you feel more calm? Next, we're going to use our hands to give ourselves an affirmation of strength. So it's very important if we're having difficulty with our self-esteem, if we're nervous about a test, to affirm ourselves. And I find using hands and tapping out an affirmation is so empowering. It's a way I can use my hands to do a yoga pose called a mudra. So the mudra we'll do is, I can handle this. So we'll tap out each finger, the affirmation, I can handle this. And we'll repeat that in first a loud voice, and then we'll slowly get softer and softer. Ultimately, we'll still be tapping, but we'll just repeat it mentally. So we might say it 5, 6, 7 times. When you're ready, you'll start to whisper and to finally say silently and feel the affirmation, the words you're saying, and allow yourself to have that experience. So a lot of kids might want to say, I don't feel, or say the opposite. I really encourage you to try this. You can always think of your own affirmation later. So please try to keep this positive. Let's do it together. I can handle this. 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 Notice how the affirmation is affecting you. Do you notice any confidence or joy from that? And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Now, it's your chance to create your own 4-word mudra, to do your own mudra meditation. What's your affirmation or mantra? I'll give you a few more examples. I feel so powerful. Peace begins with me. Go ahead and jot one down for yourself. Thank you so much. So next, look at your hands and how do they feel right now? Just notice and reflect on how your hands are feeling right now. You can jot it in your workbook. You can just notice and think about it. Now ask yourself, what happens in my hands when I feel angry? You can do it with your body or write it down. What happens in my hands when I feel angry? Next, think about a time your hands got sweaty or clammy. What emotions did you feel when your hands got sweaty? What came up for you in that moment? Finally, could paying attention to your hands give you information about your mood? Why or why not?